Knockout punch. Is that like rum punch? Because, you know, I like rum punch. Knockout punch, I think that's appropriate also from time to time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you Wednesday, April 9th, 2014. The phones are all lit up. Let's go to Texas again and talk to Jurgen, or Jurgen maybe, from Texas. Hello, Jurgen.
Hello. Jürgen, yeah, with a cowboy hat and a belt buckle sometimes.
Yeah, there you go. What about a horse? Do you have a horse?
And a German accent and no horse. So.
Oh, ach du Liebe.
Ach du Liebe Gott. Yeah, I'm calling today for a friend of mine. He's complaining about numbing pain in his left knee, and then he feels continually like having to straightening it out.
Yeah.
And then when he's bending in the knee or in the leg, it bothers him to get back up if he stays down there for a while. And he also says that his shoulder starts cracking more than usual.
Yeah. Is all of this on the same side of his body, or don't you know?
Yes, correct. Left side, yeah.
Left side. All right.
Yes.
So, well, you know, his joints are starting to go, and it's curious in some people. You know, some people it's the left knee that goes first. Some people it's the right shoulder that goes first. Some people it's the left little finger, and some people it's the right hip, right? And it's curious how this shows up in different people. Medical science has no concern to chart these waters, understand this, and if we did understand these intricacies, we'd be a lot better off. But nonetheless, his bones and joints need support. And we do that two ways. We do that by providing him nutritional support, to help the bones and joints be healthy, number one. And number two, we encourage him to stop eating food that's hurting the joints. The only problem with that, Jurgen, is most of the food that we have grown up with, the lion's share of the stuff that we eat normally every day is bad for us, and it's a tragedy here of biblical proportions, because we have let the people who make the food tell us what food to eat, and they don't care. They have skin in the game. They don't even know that wheat, barley, rye, and oats are bad for you, but that's all that we eat everywhere all the time. And it's going to hurt you. If he continues to eat this stuff, his joints are just going to continue to get worse. So he has to stop eating 10 foods, and he has to give his joints the right stuff in order for them to bounce back. So what's his body weight? Do you know?
175 pounds, and he's a perfect 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
And he's around 40 years old.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's too young for his joints to be going. Does he do physical labor every day?
He runs to stay fit, and he works out a lot.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. What's he do for a living?
He sits a lot.
He sits a lot. That's interesting.
Yes, he's a pilot.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right. Don't know if that has anything to do with anything. I think if he were a laborer, a fisherman, or a carpenter, or a bricklayer, or something like that, this would have happened long before it's happening now. But in any event, the recommendation is, number one, eliminate the 10 bad foods. Number two, take 2 healthy bone and joint packs. And I would do the original formula, not the 2.0. I would do the original healthy bone and joint pack. 2 of them a month, 2 healthy bone and joint packs a month. And 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month, 2 healthy bone and joint packs a month. That's a good place for him to start. And I'm going to bet you 25 cents that just eliminating the 10 bad foods while he's waiting for the supplements to arrive, right, because it's, a 3, 4, 5 day lag time, just from stopping the 10 bad foods before the supplements come, he's going to experience a positive change in the knee pain. So that's the recommendation. It's pretty easy and it's pretty straightforward, Jurgen. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And my mom is considering getting an artificial hip. So I guess I'll tell her the same thing.
Yeah. She's considering getting a what?
An artificial hip.
Oh, no. Holy smokes. Don't do that. Well, and here's why, right? I mean, if you had an automobile and it needed 6 quarts of oil, but there was only 1 quart of oil in it, You drive it down the road.
A vast virus database has been updated.
Isn't that fantastic? And you drive it down the road. What's going to happen is the cylinders are going to seize up. The engine's going to seize up, and the car's going to stop working. And so what do? Well, you bring it in to the dealership, and they give you a brand new engine. But if the new engine has 1 quart of oil in it instead of 6, it's going to seize up again. So the reason that the hip is going bad isn't because she has a hip, and it's not because she has a deficiency in a titanium hip, right? It's because her body has run out of the stuff it needs to keep the hip healthy, and she needs to dial that in. Now, it's possible that the hip that she does have is so far gone that she's going to need surgery, but I doubt it. And I'm reminded of a guy, he's an ex-Marine. He's a police officer now in South Carolina. He's a big longevity guy, and he had 1 hip replacement surgery, and he was lined up for another one. And he found longevity, and he started the longevity products. The hip his natural hip that they wanted to replace for the second time is fine now, and his knees are fine. He's running 5 miles again like he used to when he was in the Marines. But the only thing in his body that's problematic is the fake hip that he got before longevity. So it's always better to avoid a non-life-threatening surgery. You know, like if you need surgery to save your life, you have to do that. But it doesn't sound to me like this is it. I would have your mother lean on medical nutrition heavily for 3 months to judge its effects before she even thinks about getting a hip replacement. Does that sound like a plan, Jürgen?
Sounds like a plan.
Just say 9, Jürgen. Just say 9. That's my advice. I appreciate your phone call, brother. Keep up the good work in the great state of Texas. We're going to stay in the Southwest now. Let's pop across the border to California and see what's happening with Shirley. Hey, Shirley. Thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Thanks, Dr. Glidden, for taking my call.
You're welcome. What's happening?
Well, I talked to you mid-December, and I had a finger that I was having problems with, and I didn't know at that point if it was arthritis, because I had the arthritic joint where it enlarges. And you gave me, told me to get a holistic medicine, and so I went and got that, but as it wound up, the finger was infected.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had to take Cipro for 2 weeks, or for 10 days, and it helped. But it never did. All the swelling and stuff has never gone completely away. I think I still have liquid under the skin and the top, because when I pull my finger down, it's squishy. And so I went to a finger specialist yesterday, and he told me that the infection had eaten up part of the joint in my finger, because you can just move that joint back and forth. It's my right index finger.
Yeah.
And he said that this was kind of confusing to me, but he said that there could be even still some of the infection, even though it's not raging or anything, there could be some in there around that joint. And so he said that I could choose to have those 2 joints fused together with a screw, which I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that unless I'm just, can't stand the pain or something. But anyway, he also said that he told me to come back in 6 months to have that X-ray to make sure that there's still not joint deterioration. It's not getting worse in there.
Well, all right. So
or whatever.
Yeah.
In there.
All right. So this is what the rationale here is the same rationale that MDs bring to bear when they're up against the cancer thing, right? So they'll have someone with a tumor in the breast, a cancerous tumor in the breast, and they'll cut the tumor out, or they'll remove the breast, which is usually what they do. And then they'll say, well, look, it's entirely possible that there's microscopic cancer cells that we can't see and we can't detect in there. It's possible in your finger that there's a lingering microscopic infectious thing that we can't see. So we recommend this protocol, this protocol, this protocol. They're kind of, they're shooting in the dark, basically, is what they're doing. So the recommendation here for you, regardless of whether there's minuscule amounts of bacteria still lingering around the joint capsule or not, is to give your body the raw materials that it needs to build a healthy and strong joint. That's what you need, and it would not be a bad idea also to do a little extracurricular immune support for 90 days. And then assess with a follow-up x-ray whether or not it's getting better or not. And I've got no problem with a x-ray for your finger. Do not let anybody ever in your life convince you to get a CT scan, okay? And a little tiny x-ray for your finger, no problem. But a CT scan, that's a big bad voodoo daddy. So what's your current body weight?
It's 250.
All right, so the recommendation for you, and is it painful?
No, not like it was when it's infected. It can get sore sometimes the more I move it, but it's not really painful. So.
Okay, so the recommendation here would be, you have something to write with? Let me tell you what I would do. All right.
Yes, I do.
All right, good. Every month, here's what I would do. I would do 2 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. 2 of those. It's called BTT, Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. 2 of those. I would do 4 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX. 4 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX. And 2 bottles of EFA Plus. 2 bottles of EFA Plus. That's a good program. And glucogel, you need glucogel. Let's do liquid glucogel. 3 bottles of the liquid glucogel plus. 3 liquid glucogel plus, 4 Beyond Osteo FX, 2 EFA plus, 2 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Give that a run for 90 days and see what happens. Who's that sneaking around your house? Pharmaceutical industry. They're on the TV, they're in magazines, they're in your doctor's office. The pharmaceutical industry gives $50,000 of free samples a year to every single MD in the United States. $50,000 of free samples a year to every MD in the United States. That's a chunk of change. And that's why this situation is going from bad to worse, because the MDs pay attention to the pharmaceutical rep instead of paying attention to, science. And when I say science, I mean science. I don't mean their one small piece of the scientific pie, which is reductionism. I mean, if MDs paid attention to the whole field of science, it would be completely different, but they don't. They're focused on the one piece of the scientific pie that they've been trained in. They're like, zombies, all walking in the same direction. It's nonsense. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. The only thing your MD is good for is surgery, and they're excellent at this when they're not addicted to street drugs, prescription drugs, and alcohol, like more than half of them are. Emergency room medicine, military field medicine, trauma care, and a handful of infectious diseases. That's the wheelhouse of the MD. Let's go to Montana and see what Mary's up to. Hey, Mary, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. I have my friend Dennis on the line. He's 39 years old. He's had sickle cell anemia since birth, and he has many crises every year, and this year is no exception. He's had several crises through the winter, and he just got out of the hospital. He just found out about Dr. Wallach and longevity, and we've got him an order that will be arriving tomorrow. And we both watched your webinar on sickle cell, and we ordered the products that you recommended. But I have Dennis on the line, and if you have any questions for him, he would like to know if there's anything that we can do to just really boost this program so that he doesn't have any more of these crises.
Well, Dennis, thanks for signing up here and trusting us. There's a gentleman from North Carolina or Georgia. It might be Georgia. It's Atlanta, I think, and I can't remember his name. I'm having a senior moment. He's been dealing with sickle cell anemia his entire life. And before we found Youngevity, he had 2 or 3 crises a year. He called the radio show a couple of weeks ago and gave his testimony again. It's a remarkable testimony. Since he's been following our program, the crises have, virtually vanished. And now when he does have a crisis, he doesn't have to go to the emergency room for it. He's over it in a couple of hours instead of a couple of days, and life is much better. What you need to understand here is we've been so culturally convinced by the pharmaceutical industry, we've been so conditioned for the quick fix by the drug companies, that's what we expect, even with a different holistic approach. And sometimes with holistic medicine, we do experience remarkably rapid turnarounds, but most of the time we do not. Most of the time, healing very much is a process, and it's something that has to roll out over time, just like growing a flower, right? You don't plant a rose on Monday and expect to be smelling the rose and having them all over your house on Tuesday. It takes a while for the plant to grow and then mature, and then, so it's going to take a while for your body to come around here. But what you need to pay attention to is how you feel, generally speaking, once you start the program. Because, notwithstanding the crises, which we definitely expect there to be improvement with, we also expect other things to improve. Mood, energy, appetite, sleep, right? All of these little things should start to improve as well. And once you see something start to improve somewhere noticeably, well, then it's only a matter of time until you get a leg up on the other stuff. The only thing that you can do in order to speed this program up is be 100% congruent and disciplined with the diet and the nutritional supplements. And this is a 1-2 punch here. In addition to giving you the right nutritional supplements, we also recommend you stop eating food that's hurting your body and disallowing nutrients to absorb into your body. So if you eliminate the 10 bad foods every day, like your life depended on it, no cheating, then you're going to speed up this process remarkably. So really, the secret here is in the disciplined effort over time, every day eliminating the 10 bad foods, and every day taking the right amount of the supplements into your body, like your life depended on it. Dial in the discipline and experience the results. Appreciate your phone call.
Can we ask just about a couple of products that we were thinking? And
you can after the break. Hold on, Mary. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you on the 9th day of April, 2014, talking to Mary in Montana. Mary, are you still with me?
I'm still here, Dr. Glidden.
Now, hold on, Mary. I have to make a deal with you.
Yes.
All right. I'll let you ask me a couple more questions, but for payment, you have to tell the listening audience how you got involved with Youngevity.
I can do that.
All right, so tell me how you got involved with Youngevity, and then I'll answer the questions.
Okay. I heard Dr. Wallach's Dead Doctors Don't Lie audio cassette years ago, and it just rang so true to me, and I just knew that that's what I needed to be involved in. But, however, that was back in the day when I didn't have a computer, and it was back before Youngevity and all that, and so I kind of lost track of Dr. Wallach. I didn't know how to hear him on the radio. When he came on GCN radio and I heard him again, now I'm, many years later down the road, and my health is falling completely apart. And I heard the number on GCN radio. I called. I hooked up with some wonderful folks, Phyllis and Andy Anderson, and the rest is history. And many helpful, oh my goodness, it's helped me through so many health issues, and my health is completely turned around, and I'm a happy girl, and I'm helping lots of folks, and it's very rewarding.
There were millions, literally, I'm not exaggerating. I think the actual number is 40 million, I think, of those cassette tapes that were sent out all around the country. And it was virtually it was one kid that had a lot to do with it. And, of course, there were a lot of bootleg tapes that happened. Companies, other network marketing companies would get a handle of Dr. Wallach's tape, they'd bootleg it. And if you listen carefully to the original Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Dr. Wallach doesn't mention longevity. He doesn't mention any vitamin company at all. All he talks about is medical nutrition.
Yes.
So there were a bunch of fly-by-night network marketing companies that got a hold of the cassette tape and used it to promote their own stuff. And, so that's why there were so many of those tapes circulating all around the country. It was quite a remarkable phenomenon back in the day. All right, Mary, that was a good answer. Now, how can I help you?
Wallach and longevity, and very, very thankful for you, Dr. Glidden. You're helping so many people in your webinar. All your webinars, they're just so helpful to understand what we got going on here. And for Dennis, he is just, for the first time in his life, he just has real hope that he can live a more normal life, and he's so excited about this. And so his question was, and my question for you also, is could we add a Z-Radical or Cell Shield or anything like that to this basic program?
If you want to add anything, it would be Z-Radical. The Cell Shield would not be an appropriate thing here. So he needs to be doing the selenium. That's of maximum importance, the selenium. And the glucogel, right, to support the bone marrow. Selenium and glucogel.
Good. I'm glad we're talking to you because we did not get glucogel on that program.
Yes.
All right. So selenium and glucogel are going to be very helpful here. If you want to do anything extracurricular after that, Z-Radical would be the way to go. And it's impossible to overdo it with Z-Radical. I mean, but really the thing here is we have to support and promote bone marrow because that's where the red blood cells are made. Yes. And we have to support the chromosomal stuff and the replication of the chromosomal stuff, and we do that with the minerals and the selenium. And so the selenium and the glucogel on top of the healthy pack. And really, there's nothing else to do there.
He's 150 pounds, maybe 3 bottles a month.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to start. That's what I do.
Perfect.
Yeah. Very good, Mary.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Glidden. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Good luck. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Get one time to meet us in Africa. Thank you.
All right. I hope we go to Africa, too. The problem with Africa, of course, is poverty. And the longevity stuff isn't cheap. So we need to find a way to make it work in countries where there's not a whole lot of extra cash to throw around. Let's go to Alabama and see what Bill's up to. Hey, Bill, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. How are you?
I'm good, but I'll get better. William, how's everything down in Bama?
Doing fine down here. Nice and sunny. Love it.
How's the Crimson Tide, man?
Oh, I don't know about that. I got to stay away from that. I spend all my time on the indoor sports,
All right, man. What's happening?
Well, my sister, she's got serious kidney problems.
Uh-huh.
I'll say a serious kidney problem. One of her kidneys is completely dead. The other one is only functioning at 20% capacity. And we don't know what to do. We're thinking right now about, and I don't even know if it exists or not, and that's stem cell therapy. I don't know if you know anything about that, and if it's not existing now, is there any clinical trials going on?
No, it's irrelevant. She doesn't need it. I mean, that stuff's, sometime in the future. We have things right now that will support and promote healthy kidney function, and we have lots of people all around the world who were on dialysis. They follow our programs. They're not on dialysis anymore. Well, so I don't know about stem cell, but I do know about science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition to support and promote the health of the kidney. There's stuff that she can do right now that ostensibly can help her a great deal. So, I mean, that's what I would do, man. And one of the beauties of one of the reasons that longevity is so effective is because the protocols that we talk about are grounded in research. I mean, like extremely pragmatic autopsy and histopathology. And Dr. Wallach did 26,000 autopsies, which inform the formulation of the longevity products, one of the things that Wallach noticed when he was doing so many autopsies, this was for a federally funded research grant that he was in charge of, $25 million, by the way, that Dr. Wallach was in charge of. One of the patterns that he saw when he would be dissecting funky diseased kidneys is that most of the time with the kidney disease, the kidney itself is structurally sound. It's the blood flow going to the kidney and inside the kidney that's messed up. The kidney itself is fine, but the blood flow going to the kidney is messed up. It's clogged up. It's like when the plumbing in your house gets clogged up, right? The toilet doesn't flush and your sink backs up because there's a crap in the drain. Well, that's what Dr. Wallach noticed, and so our strategies here, whenever we come up against the kidney problem, is to support and promote the structure and function of the kidney by supporting and promoting healthy circulation. And so here's the recommendation to do that. And Bill, you might just get lucky here and hit a home run. I'm as God is my witness, I've seen lots of people get off of dialysis. Lots of people get off of dialysis. Now, is that going to happen for your sister? I don't know. But this is a medical nutrition strategy is never a bad idea, because if the kidney is so far gone that it can't help it, it's going to help everything else in the body because everything's connected. I mean, this is like never fail fudge. There's no reason for anybody not to do this. So the recommendation.
Put her up the bat if you'll just swing the ball.
All right, brother. I'll throw you a softball pitch. How much does she weigh?
Well, that's the thing too. She has lost a lot of weight in the past few weeks. She was a little over 140, I believe. Now she's down to 124. So she's getting worse rapidly. Yeah,
then that's how it goes. You hit a kind of like a pothole and then just drop off the face of the earth. All right, so we need to intervene quickly. So here's the recommendation. Per month, it would be 1 anti-aging healthy start pack.
Okay.
1 anti-aging healthy start pack. 3 selenium. 3 selenium. 1.
That's by longevity?
Yeah, this is all by longevity. Yep, and I'll tell you how to.
Selenium,
3 selenium. Yep, I'll tell you how to get. It's capsules.
Okay, capsules. All right.
3 bottles of selenium a month. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules. 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules.
Okay.
And 3 bottles of Z-Radical. 3 bottles of Z-Radical a month. 3 Z-Radical a month. Now, how did you hear about me, Bill?
Gosh, I've been listening to GCN for about 8 years and couldn't help but pick up your program. And I can't really say how I heard about longevity. This advertised on lots of different stations, but it originated from GCN. Okay, great. So then what I'd like you to do is dial 855-347-3696. What was those last digits? Yeah, it's 855-347-3696. Okay. And someone from my team will call you back, and they'll show you how to order this stuff, get it at the wholesale price, and they'll hold your hand and tell you how to take it as well. Hey, now that sounds good. Yeah. Because it is expensive. Well, it is, but and there's a reason for that. I mean, there's a method to that madness, and the reason is because Dr. Wallach, on purpose, years ago, set Longevity up as a network marketing company. He did that on purpose, and he did that because he became very acutely aware of the pharmaceutical industry's repression of this type of information. So, in order to get this information into the hands of as many people as is humanly possible, Dr. Wallach came up with the idea of setting Longevity up as a network business so that we would pay people to spread the message of longevity. Now, that's brilliant because we're forming a non-militant grassroots army. And, every army needs to be paid. And if you bought, $3,000 worth of supplements at GNC or your local health food store in 1 year, they're not going to give you any kickback. Maybe they'll give you 10% off your next order. But with Longevity will pay you thousands of dollars
to help spread our message. And I'm telling you, man, the business opportunity here is not to be overlooked. But that's why Wallach set the company up as a network business, because we're in the business of making a big splash here all around the world with helping people just like your sister get out of the weeds. And anything that's sold in a network marketing business structure, anything, I don't care what it is. I don't care if you sell water through a network marketing structure. It's 3 or 4 times as expensive as it would be through a normal retail outlet, because that's how the business model works, right? I mean, that's just the way that it is. But the possibility exists for you or your sister or anybody else to get their supplements for free and to actually make $100, $200, $300,000 extra dollars a month, whatever, into the bargain by spreading the message. And so that's why it's like this. You don't want to overlook the business opportunity here, man, because if you do it even just part-time, in a couple of months, you can get your stuff for free, and, you know, that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. I mean, no kidding.
How does a person go about advertising, though? I mean, how do you make contacts?
Well, we have a whole, if you join my team, which you're going to by calling this number, we'll walk you through it. We'll hold your hand. We'll tell you how to do this, because there is a simple system that you have to learn. You know, it's kind of like when you when you go to get a driver's license, right? You have to study the manual, you have to take the driver's test, and there's a little bit of stuff you have to learn before they give you a license to drive. Well, there's a couple things you need to learn here, too, but we'll teach you how to do that, and we teach you that for free, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Give that number a call, Bill, and let's take the next step. I know you love that song. I know you're singing it, too. Finishing up the second hour here. Let's go up to Canada and see what Matt's up to. Hey, Matt, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, but
Hello?
I'll get better. Yeah, I'm right here,
so.
man. What's happening?
I'm calling about, I got this problem with this numbness in my right hand. When I sleep, I wake up with numbness and pain.
So, yeah,
and now during the day, I'm even getting the numbness throughout the day in my right hand, mainly in my forefinger.
Don't go to sleep. I just wouldn't go to sleep.
That's a great idea.
How long you had this?
I would say I've noticed in the last year it kind of creeped up.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
I work at a recycling plant. It's a factory job.
Yeah. Okay. Ever been to a chiropractor?
Yes, I have.
And how lately?
It's been a couple of years since I've been to one.
Okay. All right. So what's your current body weight?
200.
Okay. So the first thing to consider here is that this is a blood sugar issue. So are you ever having the experience that you fall asleep after you eat lunch, or you get really sleepy after you eat dinner? Is that happening to you or not?
Not really.
And what about, all right, and what about nighttime? Do you sleep right through the night, or do you wake up after a couple hours sleep and you're wide awake?
Well, I wake up a few times throughout the night, either go to the washroom or my hand's hurting. And the pain lasts for about, I have to wait a couple minutes before it goes away and I go back to bed.
Yeah, okay. So what I would do here at 200 pounds is give your central nervous system a little extra support. And what we do, how we do that, is you take with your body weight. The recommendation would be 2 healthy brain and heart packs, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. And when you eat food, you want to concentrate on cholesterol, foods that are high in cholesterol, because that's what your nerves are made from. Your nerves are made from cholesterol. So eat a lot of eggs and butter and put salt on them. And try 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, and keep your fingers crossed, pun intended. Let's finish it off in Texas with Alaric. Alaric, you've got 2 minutes, brother. How can I help?
Okay, I've been lately been getting some infections, and I think it's down to what's occurring in my liver. So I wanted to go get a liver panel to find out how it's going, my liver.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know, once I get that information, what do I do with it?
Well, you got to call me back and tell me what the results are, because depending on the results, it's going to be a different thing. But one of the easiest things anybody can do to support liver health is add selenium into their supplement program.
Well, I take about 12 a day.
Then you're good to go. Then the only thing extra that you could do, excuse me, would be get a juicer and start juicing beets, fresh squeezed beet juice every day. Or, if you can't do it every day, do it 3 or 4 times a week. And I would go up in ascending doses. I would start the first week with 1 ounce a day, a couple times a week. Then the second week, I'd do 2 ounces a day, and I'd work myself up to 4 ounces of beet juice a day. Now, when you start doing fresh squeezed beet juice, your urine is going to turn red and your poop is going to turn red. You'll think you're bleeding. You're not. It's just the beet juice. And feel free to mix the beet juice with any other juice that you want to make it taste better. One of my favorites is beets, carrots, and Granny Smith apples, the green apples. So that's what I would do. Why do you think it's your liver, Alaric?
Oh, I think from the years of messing up, my liver's kind of funky, as you would say.
Well, one of the, blood pressure is called the silent killer, because you can have blood pressure through the roof and not know it, and that's why you have to get your blood pressure measured. It's the same with the liver. Your liver can be like, you're a month away from needing a liver transplant and you feel fine. And 75% of your liver can be just completely messed up and you don't feel it. That's why getting blood tests for liver function is a really important idea. So that makes you the smartest man in Texas. Yeah, just get a liver panel and it'll tell you.
Okay.
Specifically, you need ALT and AST. ALT and AST. That gives you a pretty good heads up. But, most labs have a full-blown liver panel at a discount, and that's what I would do moving forward. Get back to me with those numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Live long and prosper, God willing, and the creek don't rise. Back in the saddle tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for listening.